Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you Masquerade Aurora from Sleeping Beauty. Now, Masquerade Aurora is one of the most exciting ones out of the 5 Masquerade Tsums that's out this month. I think she's just a really fun Tsum to use, and it's very, stimulating to figure out what abilities does what. So let's take a look at her ability description. So it's going to start fever time and special magic bubble appears. So very similar to all the other Masquerade Tsums, it's going to start fever time. So if you need a Tsum that will start fever at any point, then Masquerade Aurora is perfect for that. And what that essentially is that if your fever bar is completely empty or almost full, regardless of where it's at, if you activate the ability, fever time will start right away. And it'll also be fully charged. If you are completely empty, the bar will be full. Okay, so now let's take a look at the stats first. If you want to activate Masquerade Aurora's ability, you'll need to clear 17 copies of her off the screen. And her minimum score is 30 with a maximum score of 1010. So minimum score is pretty bad, maximum score not that great, it's okay. Average Tsum when it comes to score at the lower levels. And if you do want to get Masquerade Aurora to skill level 6, you're going to need to get 28 copies of her. So it's okay, it's not terrible, it's actually on the lower end. Usually anything below 30 is considered really easy. And before I go any further, if you guys really like these Tsum Tsum content or would like to see more, definitely don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more Tsum Tsum content. Now let's quickly take a look at the stats bar or the skills chart. At skill level 1, you could create any bubbles between 1 and 2 and that's going to be random. But for skill level 2, you're going to be guaranteed 2. And if you're lucky enough to get her to skill level 6, then she's going to make 4 bubbles consistently. Okay, so now let's take a look at Masquerade Aurora between skill level 1, 2, and 3. So there are some unique changes between all 3 of these skill levels, and that has to do with the amount of bubbles that will be changed. At skill level 1, you could get anywhere between 1 and 2, so you may get lucky and always get 2, but it's going to come down to luck. Skill level 2, you're guaranteed to get 2, and skill level 3, you're guaranteed to get anywhere between 2 to 3, so it's up to luck as well. You're not going to always get 2 and you're not always going to get 3. So if you're super lucky, you may always get 3. So to understand the strategy of using Masquerade Aurora, you first have to understand what each of these bubbles will do. In a way, they're consistent. You just have to know what each of the colors do. There are 3 different colors of these magic bubbles. So there's going to be a green bubble, a blue bubble, and also a red bubble. The best bubble to get is the red one. So that's another part of being lucky, is if you always get the red bubble, in that gameplay, you're definitely going to get a lot more coins and a lot more score. So you'll see later that my skill level 3 gameplay is going to be significantly higher than skill level 1 and 2. And actually it was significantly higher than my skill level 4 as well, which I'll get to in a future video. But back to this, so the red bubble makes the X, and then the green bubble makes a horizontal line, so sideways, and the blue bubble makes a vertical line. So keep that in mind when we are talking about bubbles. So when you are using the red bubble, the strategy is to prioritize popping the red bubble, especially when the bubble is in the center area. You want to try to pop the red bubble in the middle as much as possible. When the bubble falls down to the bottom, you kind of lose out on part of the screen, so you won't clear as much. So you definitely want to make sure it's towards the center, and you don't want it too high to the top as well. So it's a little tricky and it's not going to be perfect all the time. After popping the red bubble, you should prioritize popping the blue bubble and then the green bubble. It's just the way that these bubbles react. And another thing that I've noticed is that you definitely want to make sure that you give it a couple of seconds in between bubble bursting to maximize the coin earnings and score as well. So to better illustrate what I mean by that, let me actually do a side-by-side comparison of all the abilities activated at the same time and show you all of the bubbles bursted, or the different colors I mean. So let's slow this down a little bit here. The animation is similar to Tiana's and all the other ones. It's actually 3D now as of like last year. So here are all the bubble color options. You got the blue one, the green one, and the red one. So the blue one, again, it's going to be vertical, and the green one is horizontal. So focus on skill level 2 and 3 for right now. I will burst the red one first. So skill level 3, you see that X shape there for the red one. Look how much more burst, or how much the chain I got. It's 29 compared to skill level 2's vertical blast of 15. Regardless of what skill level you have her at, these blast ranges or radiuses, like the thickness of it, is going to remain the same, so it really doesn't matter. So now let's go back to the green one. The green one is a horizontal line clear. And if you look at skill level 2 there, I got a green horizontal burst there, and it was only 11 chains. Another thing here is because the bubble is at the very bottom of the screen, the chain is significantly less than what it would be if it was a little bit higher. So keep that in mind. You want to try to burst these bubbles somewhat in the middle of the screen as much as possible, and you want to prioritize popping the red one and then any other Tsum that's in the middle of the screen to maximize the coin earning as well as the score. But a lot of times it's really up to luck. You never know what kind of bubbles you get. And skill level 3, I would say like this is one of my luckier gameplays. I got a lot of red bubbles, and I'll commentate on that in a future video for skill level 4, 5, and 6. But I got a lot higher score and a lot more points because I got really lucky in that game. I got a lot of 3 bubbles as well as red bubbles. So the more red bubbles you get, you're gonna get a lot more coins. So overall, Masquerade Aurora, I really like this Tsum. It's really fun to play. Every gameplay is different because you never know what bubble you're gonna get. It's also very stimulating because you always have to think about which bubbles to burst first, which ones to prioritize, and then also you don't want to burst them right away. So you don't want to necessarily spam all the magic bubble at the same time. So like don't pop them back to back to back. You want to actually wait. And I found that it's actually a lot better if you pop them and pop one bubble and then make another chain, and then pop the other bubble, make another chain. That way you consistently will be generating bubbles after bubble. They're not going to go away. So like if you created these special magic bubble and you just left them alone, you could burst them later. So you technically could just have a full screen of bubbles and then burst them later, but I don't know why you would want to do that. You want to actually not do that. Okay, so now let's take a look at the score and coin earnings for all 3 of these gameplay. For skill level 1, it's kind of disappointing. I only got 633 coins. Skill level 2, I got 1,620, so nothing too amazing there. And at skill level 3, I got 2,705. So starting at skill level 3, it is going to be worth it to use the 5-4 and coin boost if you can get a good gameplay. I think realistically though, on average, you probably want to get Masquerade Aurora to skill level 4 before you should use the 5-4 and coin boost. And that's a pretty difficult task if you don't have skill tickets available to you to level her up. So it might not be worth it. You probably have to weigh that out for yourself. And then when it comes to score, it was okay. For skill level 1, I got 2.5 million. Skill level 2, I got 5.1. And skill level 3, I got 7.1. So pretty average for these Masquerade Tsums. The other Masquerade, Tiana, and Hades, you could expect somewhere in this ballpark as well at these same levels. So nothing too crazy, I would say. So pretty average for the Masquerade Tsums. So that's pretty much my review. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. And if you guys would like to see more Tsum Tsum content just like this, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.